Ray Dalio, which recently stepped down from Bridgewater, he had a very interesting theory. He actually wrote a book about it called The Changing World Order, and he was basically making the case that exactly what you mentioned earlier, right? That the U.S. potentially could be on a decline, and the rising world power is China, right? And we all know what China wants. China wants the central bank digital currency model. And I think it's a terrible mistake by the U.S. government pursuing that rather than pursuing Bitcoin. But in the process of pursuing Bitcoin, the government's going to have to give up power that it normally would enjoy, having being the head honcho of the money. So, what are your thoughts on that theory? Do you believe Ray Dalio is correct, or do you think that Bitcoin changes that completely? Because his theory is based on the world leader, the country that leads the world issues or is the head of the world reserve currency at the time. So it went from Great Britain, they lost it due to World War I or World War II, then it went to United States, and now he's making the theory that it's China stepping up the plate. From my perspective, I believe that yes, the US could potentially lose power of global reserve currency, but through the dollar, but it could still remain in the lead if it embraces Bitcoin. But in the process of embracing Bitcoin, it loses that privilege, or specifically, the United States government loses that privilege of creating money out of thin air. So what are your thoughts on that theory? Do you agree with it? What are your thoughts on Ray Dalio in the first place?
Well, firstly, for Ray Dalio, congratulations on an incredible career, sir. You successfully milked the fiat system to its absolute end. You're going out on top. You had a plus 30% year last year, and you just fucked the system perfectly, okay? So great job, Ray Dalio. You fucked the system better than any of us fiat traders have ever fucked the system. So congrats. Now, if you don't see the lunacy of your projections, it means you and I hate to say it, Chinese wife want the Chinese business model to succeed. I'm going to take the other side of that trade, okay? Ray Dalio understands the debt spiral that the USA is in. It's only grade 11 mathematics. He laid it out very clearly in his book, in his writings. Yeah, it's not that difficult. So, but I will tip my cap to you, sir, because you and I see the debt spiral the same way. And he actually believes in Bitcoin, but he hasn't allocated Bridgewater to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is too small of an asset class as it is right now. Okay. So at the end of the day, there will be people who are smaller than Bridgewater that can take a position in Bitcoin to be a meaningful position with respect to their portfolio. They same math and realize that spiral, DEBT spiral, is only grade 11 math, and there's ways of solving that. There is a way of solving that debt spiral where Bitcoin becomes your savings account and your fiat currency checking account. Fiat currencies in and of themselves are not a bad thing. They facilitate global trade. They're not good as a savings mechanism, but they are good as a mechanism to avoid barter. Okay. And Ray lays this out beautifully in his book. And it's like he knows the solution is Bitcoin. He just can't put it on paper because he'd probably get, I don't know, eliminated. Let's just say eliminated by the US system because the biggest hedge fund in the world is seen as endorsing Bitcoin. The only solution. So there's lots of little, machinations that come in here. But the fact of the matter is, he played the fiat Ponzi perfectly. He played it like a fiddle. He played interest rates when they went from 14% to down to under 1% in the US 10-year. Then he reversed course and he started shorting the same bonds that he was buying all the way down when the rest of the world was too silly to understand what a negative yield on bonds means. And he just said, well, the rest of the world's a knucklehead and I'm going to fill their boots. And that's when you get a plus 30% up here. So once again, sir, you played it like a fiddle. I could not have even come close to succeeding to the level you have succeeded. But if you can sleep at night because of your ability to sit back and absolutely destroy people's savings because of your force, your ability to use leverage to fleece the system, all right, sleep at night. You're a conflicted fucking fool, okay? If you have children, you should be ashamed of your performance. I have 3 kids. I care about my children's future. This is why I want Bitcoin to succeed. Because fat white guys like me and you, Ray Dalio, fat white old guys like you, have pulled forward gains at the expense of our children. You should be ashamed of yourself. Taking the benefits of your children for self-fulfillment in the here and now. I'm speaking out against this. Do you have the backbone to do the same? If you don't, you're a fucking loser, sir. Please send this directly to Ray Dalio's email. You are a shameful fucking loser.